Yeah. And you? Well, you're all around, yeah.
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 I am all around, although most recently I've been on this.
Okay. All right. Mishlei 21:28. Eid Kazavim Yoved V'ish Shomea Lanetzach Yidaber. Weird pasuk. Okay, who wants to try translating that one?
Oh, a witness. Shoot.
Kazav. Yeah.
I know from Ziv up north.
Interesting.
I know it's like some sort of like trigger or something like that.
Yeah, close. Kazav. It's related to sheker.
Slyness.
No, lying. Or lies.
Okay.
Yeah. So the difference, just this is a subtlety that a lot of people don't really what do you call grasp.
Okay.
Sheker and kazav both mean falsehood, but in different ways. Sheker is when what you say does not correspond with reality, and kazav is when what you say doesn't correspond to what you actually think or feel. So in English, so sheker means false. So if I believe that the world is flat and I say the world is flat, that would be sheker, but it wouldn't be kazav. I'm not lying. I'm speaking falsely, but then kazav is when I say oh, don't worry, I'll drive you to the airport, and I know that I'm not going to do it. That would be kazav. What was it?
Sheker is like, and sheker is inaccurate.
Is inaccurate, correct? Yeah.
Whereas kazav is like deceitful.
Yeah, deception, right?
Okay, and what is it when someone is like BSing? So like they don't know if it's true or not. So it could align with truth.
That's interesting.
There's a whole philosophy about like the intersection between truth.
That's really interesting.
And lying.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about that question in relation to these two terms. I'm not sure which.
Well, no, because
they're not sure. Right.
Well, it's interesting because the philosophy that I've read on it talks about how lying and truth are closer because the person who's lying knows the truth and is using the truth in order to but the person who's BSing has no relationship with truth.
That's interesting. I bet there's a pasuk in Mishlei that talks about that. I just am not aware of it. Yeah. I feel like it would be something that Shlomo would talk about. Okay, so let's just say a witness of deceit, I guess, is probably the best
deceitful witness.
So I want to translate it literally. That's probably what it means, but kazavim is plural.
Right.
So witness of deceit, and it doesn't mean that he's seeing deceit. I mean, a witness characterized by deceit. I will have to play around with the translation. Yoved
will be destroyed.
Will be destroyed. Now I think Yoved does mean will be destroyed. I don't think it means will destroyed. I'm pretty sure will be destroyed. I think you're correct. Yeah. The ish shomea.
And the person who listens. And the man who
hears. A man who listens or hears. La netzach yidaber. This is a weird one.
To victory he will speak.
So la netzach, it is interesting, victory. So I know that lenatseach is to like be victorious. Netzach as a noun, I guess, or as I don't know if this is an adjective. No, I think it's a noun. Yeah. So it means forever. Right. So Lanetzach Yidaber.
Oh, that's weird.
It's very weird.
Forever he will speak.
Will speak forever. Yeah. Okay. Right. So you see, all Torah here says, I don't know why it says eminence. I don't know where that comes from, but enduring, everlasting, perpetuity. We'll speak in perpetuity. We'll speak, in an enduring way, something like that. Yeah. Literally, we'll speak forever. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So hold on just 1 second here. So let's look at our other translation. So Sadigon says, Kumo. Oh, so I don't know what to make of the Sadigon because it doesn't read. It doesn't read as a full sentence. Kumo she'ed hasheker yoved, just as a false witness. So he just glosses over that distinction between kazav and sheker, and also the plural. He just as a false witness will be destroyed. The ha'adam hashomei lanetzach yidaber, and a man who listens will speak forever. Sounds like it's like he's taking this in conjunction with the next pasuk. The only problem is I don't think he does do that. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of Sadigon. So we can conveniently ignore him if possible. Targum says, this is almost a direct translation. Sada dechadabusa, a witness of falsehood. So he also says it in singular. Okay. Yevad will be destroyed. V'gavra shamoa, and a man who hears Shri Ra'is Mamalel. So Shri Ra'is, I looked up in the Jastro. Shri Ra'is is firmly. Okay, like Shari or Vakayam, will speak firmly. So he's going with the like Lanetzach as endurance. It will endure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of Sadigan. If he has something to explain himself, he'll do it in his parish. Okay. So then our score says the testimony of falsehoods will be lost. Interesting. So they say testimony. I mean, aid can mean testimony, but usually I think it means witness. Will be lost. Okay. That's also a valid translation of Yoved. But the man who hears it, okay, so they add in the word it. This really should be in brackets, but will speak of it eternally. Okay, so that's very, very interpretive, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna put that testimony, witness / testimony?
Yeah, good call.
Could do that?
Yeah. Pass that down. Oops, thank you. Testimony. Yeah. It can be that. What am I thinking? Hold on just 1 second. Is this in? Okay, I gotta indulge my embarrassingness of not being able to know where pasukim are, but knowing where the Rambam quotes them. What was it? For aid being testimony. Yeah. That's edus. I'm looking for aid.
Is that plural?
No.
It's not?
No, there'll be eidos. Eidos is the noun form of it. I want to say that if he does quote this, it's going to be at the end of Hilchos Sefer Torah. V'hayasham b'chala aid. Yeah. So the Torah. This is talking about the Torah is going to be there as a testimony, okay, not as a witness. Yeah. Okay. There you go. He says because it is it is the believable testimony about all who come into the world. Yeah. So I think that is an acceptable thing. Okay. Living Knox says a lying witness will perish. Perish is also good, but a man who listens will speak forever. That's closest to the literal, I think. Alter says a lying witness will perish, but a man who listens to counsel will speak. Now, I wanted to do this because this is, I don't know if we've had this year. Alter's whole textual he's trigger happy when it comes to like amending the text. So I quoted his footnote here. He says, a man who listens to counsel will speak. The Masoretic text, now that's the one that we hold by. The Masoretic means according to like, Masorah, right? Reads, a man who listens will forever, la netzach, speak, which scarcely seems the outcome of one who one would want from an alternative person, attentive person, presumably attentive in the court of justice. This translation adopts the emendation of la'etzach, to counsel. Okay, so he's just like, it doesn't make sense to say lanetzach, so must mean letzach, I'm not a fan of denying Masoretic text because we don't know what the what the interpretation is. Okay, so we're just gonna disregard him. He is a lying witness, and we will he will perish. Yeah. Okay. So let us ask our questions. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the testimony, witness / testimony of deceits?
Yeah. Okay. So let's do what is an aid kizavim? Okay. Then Oren's question, which is listens to what?
It sounds like it could either be, maybe this is too early, but it sounds like he'll either be listening to the deceits or to the people who are calling him out on the deceits. Okay.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, right. I think there's several possibilities. So is it to the kazavim? What do you say the other one was? To,
or like the people who are like scolding the lying witness.
Okay, to the people who are, let's say, like responding. Yeah, to the aid kazavim. Do you say a different one, Sean?
I just said to something else.
Or something else. Yeah.
Then.
Also,
with this, In the situation that he's lying, is it known that he's lying or not? Because I feel like with what Oren's saying of like the people who are responding to it, like are they actually responding with knowledge that he's lying, or are they not?
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we'll I'll make that a separate question. Is it known that he is lying? Yeah, Sean?
Okay, maybe a sub question to one or its own question, which is why is it zavim instead of zav?
Why plural? Yeah. And I'm gonna also put this as a question here. Like, is this the same as an aid sheker? Because the thing is like, it's funny that we call them an aid sheker. I guess we're calling them an aid sheker because we care about the fact that their testimony doesn't correspond to reality. But aid sheker, like the way that we use it, I mean, I guess we could use it in both ways. I'm saying like the most common case of an aid sheker is going to be someone who's like intentionally lying. We don't call them like an aid kazav, I don't think, like in halacha, at least not that I'm aware of. I don't really know eidus very well though. Yeah, Isaiah? Yeah.
What is the ish shomea going to talk about?
Yeah, right. So what is the ish shomea going to talk about forever? And then obviously the question is, what does it mean? Actually, I'm going to put the Hebrew in here, lenetzach, because we don't know if lenetzach means forever. Now, what does it mean to talk lenetzach?
Also, what is the ish shomea here?
Yeah, what is the, isn't that what we said here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, listens to or hears what? Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'll put it in the shomea what? Yeah.
Just a translation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could it also be forever it will be talked about?
That was how someone said it that we read, right? Maybe living nach will be talked about. So you could interpret it that way, but I don't think you can translate it that way. Yeah, I think yadaber, it means he will talk about it, but the meaning of it could be that it will be talked about forever. Yeah. The other thing also I don't know. See, I'm tempted to say that maybe you could say one will talk about it, and that the subject is different than ish shomea. It's just a little awkward to like insert a unnamed subject. Yeah.
Is this happening in a court case or just
okay? Good question. This is a question you can ask anytime you have a pasuk about witnesses, judges. Anything in the court sphere is what is the scenario here? Is this limited to a courtroom scenario? Can it be? Is it about any form of testimony? For example, telling your friend that you saw something, or something else. Yeah.
Just to what you just responded to, Sean, it just says ish. It doesn't say like ha-ish. So it is kind of neutral in that sense.
Right, but what I'm saying is that whether it's at ish or ha-ish, yadaber, then the yadaber would be going on that person. What I was wondering is, do you have two people in the second half of the pasuk? Or sorry, not two people, but do you have ish shomea, and then like one will talk about, like some unnamed party will talk about something forever. I think that's like reading too much into, is that, yeah. Yeah, Sean?
Did we ask what is being lost to?
No. So do you say what is being lost?
No, what is being lost?
What is being lost to? Okay, yeah. So
well, the other question also stands.
Yeah, right. So okay, so what is being yovad? Okay, like, so is it the aid? Oops, sorry, not cod, that's a jug. Or his kazavim, or something else. And then I'm going to actually phrase this in a slightly broader way and then put a question in there also. How is it being yovad? And like to what? Yeah, in other words, what's the what causes it to be yovad?
To what seems more to me like where is it being lost to?
Right. Yeah. I'm saying, when I say how, I mean like
what's the mechanism?
The mechanism. How does it come about? What is it? What?
So wouldn't that be how it comes about? Isn't that like a separate part of the question?
You can make these separate questions. But like in others, like let's say for example, like I lost my keys would to me is like what caused me to lose it, and then like where does it end up, but I put it as two separate questions.
It's fine.
Yeah. All right, whatever. Actually, I'm gonna go with my intuition here. Yovad to what? Yeah, David.
How are these two halves opposites?
Yeah. How are these two halves opposites? Yeah. I think here we also need to ask our usual questions, which is who is the audience? And what is the practical advice? Yeah, Akiva?
We said what is he saying forever?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, yes.
What's so special about this?
Okay, good. So what's where did we put that? Yeah. What is good or significant about the fact that he is Lenetzach Yidaber?
Oh, so we're assuming this is a kosher.
Well, it's a good question, right? Because he doesn't he's not identified as an aid, right? He's identified as a listener.
Well, the first part.
Oh, the first part?
Yeah.
So sounds like not, right? Sounds like however we interpret. Oh, you mean like aside from his lies, is he a kosher aid?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Unless it's saying that, I think we're talking about his lies, not.
Right. I'm going to put that into, this is going to sound weird. I'm going to put that into the scenario question, because I feel like that question kind of is only in the framework of if it's a courtroom scenario. So, and if so, what is the status, the halachic status of this aid? Yeah, David?
What's the link between Shomea and Yidaber?
Okay, yeah. You're getting that from the intuitive feeling of like listening and speaking, or are you just asking?
I don't know what the intuition there was.
Oh, I mean, but if someone is listening, then there must be speech going on, and so it's weird that it's saying that he is playing both roles,
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was thinking more like what's prompting once he hears something, what's prompting him to speak.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's, what is the Shemea going to talk about Lenetzach? Shemea, what? Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'll put that here. What prompts the Ish Shomea to speak forever, Lenetzach? I can't type Lenetzach today. Okay. Not that I try typing it every day in today's video. Yeah. Okay. I think that about covers it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this was what I just asked in terms of
Yeah.
translation, but can you say to forever it will be spoken?
It will be spoken. I don't think so.
Like,
what would it be?
He's hearing something.
Yeah.
He's now internalizing it.
Yeah.
And now that thing is going to be perpetuated on forever.
That's what ours from the.
So the man who hears it will speak of it eternally. Say that when you said again.
To forever it will be spoken.
To forever it will be spoken.
But they were from our school.
I think slightly.
Yeah, because you're saying will be spoken.
Yeah.
This is still putting it in terms of he will speak.
Yeah, and eternally is the.
So I believe. Okay, and again, this is this is why everyone should learn grammar. All right, I never learned grammar. I have a very, very, very good grammatical intuition, and I can like coast on that, and which is what most of us do in English, right? Like in English, most people don't study English grammar. Like they just either they pick it up from reading or writing or whatever. So I believe it would be Yudubar. I want to see if that's even a real conjugation. I have a copy of 501 Hebrew verbs at home. Oh no, I want, how do I do this? Advanced. Why can't I? Okay. You know what? I need the English for this. Actually, maybe I don't. Wait. Let's do. All right. I don't know how to find it. I don't know. I'll see if I can find it. We'll let that go. Okay. No. So we'll assume that is a legitimate reading, and then And then maybe another thing that might happen is maybe when you give that interpretation, we'll see that it could be reflected in the standard way of reading it also, like maybe it's not contingent on the reading. We'll see. All right. Yes, you want to tell it?
To be clear, Sean, just sorry to interrupt. Are you reading it like a man hears, comma, and it will be spoken of forever?
Yeah, like two. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Two forever will be spoken. All right, correct.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I guess the way then the pasuk would, or at least sounds to me, is that okay, you have somebody speaking a lie, right?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily instantly know when someone's lying to you, right? So a person who just shomea seems to be like a very passive thing, at least in this context.
Yeah.
And so he's just like kind of like accepting whatever this person is saying.
Yeah.
And then if you just accept things without like really investigating and understanding them, so then you're going to perpetuate that, and then that falsity is going to continue.
Right.
As long as people are continuing this process of just listening without evaluating and like critically thinking about it, so then it will, that false idea will continue forever.
Okay, so Ishmael here, you're saying is an uncritical listener, right? Someone who's just like passing on whatever he's hearing, and it will, I mean, I think that can be. I think when I wasn't criticizing our school when I was saying that they're inserting the word "it." I mean, I think that I think you can say that he'll. The fact that the object identified in the first half is the ksavim, it's reasonable to say that he'll speak of it forever. I don't think you need to say it will be spoken of forever to read it that way. I think you could just say like he'll speak of it forever, and it's conveying that idea, But now the question is, what does yoved mean?
I have a
on Sean's idea, you have an approach, or you're just saying?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the yoved is that like kind of like locally, like the lie's gonna get found out, and then it's not gonna like continue to be a thing. So like when a good say I say a lie, and then like I think it uses with like myths that like persist.
Yeah.
Even though they're not true.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about this recently, that like for a very, very long time, I thought that cold water boils faster than hot water.
that's a beautiful myth. I mean, that's just like an amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like I kept like intermittently trying to figure out like why that made sense. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't really understand, but like, okay, so like that, like that's something that like until like recently, I just like very recently, I was like, no, this just can't be true. And actually, like before I said this example, I looked it up just to make sure that it's actually not true. But like, I believe that since I first heard it.
Right. Yeah. The category that's in, by the way, that's like the type of thing where if Aristotle had written it, people would just believe it unquestioningly for like millennia, and like, oh, of course, yeah, and women have fewer teeth than men, or whatever the other thing is, yeah. So you're saying that it's going to be found out locally by the people who like actually like look it up or like do tests, but you're saying that in the meantime it's just going to there's a saying. Yeah,
and that's something that's like somewhat easily verifiable,
right?
Like, you can test it, or you can run it, but if you're like the thing about like testimony, or like testifying about something, not specifically in a court case, but it's you're talking like people are believing you on the strength of the fact that you're saying it as truth,
right?
And not based on their own experience. Like, I think that's how testimony works.
Right. I hear.
And so even if so when you lie, it does create something that ends up persisting, even if you get found out.
Right. Okay, I hear that. You want to answer your own question first, or
I want to also add on.
Okay, add on to that, and then you guys are also answering the same question, or all right. So we'll hold on to the different approach for now. The question of what, according to Sean's approach, what does yoved mean? You want to add?
So I had an initial approach also to that, but
sure.
I think I like Isaac's better.
Okay.
So first on Isaac's point, which is they talked about how disinformation spreads faster than true information.
Yeah.
Because the nature of truth is, in order to know something's true, you need to verify it. And verification takes longer than it takes to spread information.
Yeah.
Like if I say something and then somebody else says it, the verification of what I just said is going to take longer. Like for like if somebody spreads information, then people need to go through the sources and check it.
Yeah.
Information is already way down the line.
That's a good explanation, which I just want to support with just an idiom here that I don't know the exact phrasing of it, but it's like a lie can spread around the world before the truth has gotten out of bed and put on its shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we like truth in like a equal battle with falsity wins out, right? Truth, like you can see when something is true that it beats falsity. And so you would think, oh, truth is always going to win against falsehoods. Right. But the reality is the second you let a falsehood go, like truth is always going to be trying to catch up, and it will like break it down, but the falsity is still going to be remaining perpetually for a while. Now,
this is the idea you're saying before Isaac's, or this is your elaboration, Isaac's?
This is my
elaboration. So let me just comment on that really quickly, and then I'll hear what you're saying, and then Oren, is that I think that now has a complete idea in the pasuk, right? Because it's saying, so both the subject of the pasuk would be lies, and it's saying on the one hand, a false testimony will perish, right? Because like you're saying, it doesn't have any basis. So like it's a matter of time. It's a matter of like comparing to the truth. Its nature is to not have stability and to perish. But on the other hand, it will spread forever, and forever is just hyperbole for the speed or like the range or the or how long it'll take to like fully stamp it out. That's good.
So the is like putting in brackets, but the man who hears it
exactly
will go on forever. You're trying to catch up to this truth.
That's correct. Okay, then your prior interpretation.
No, I'm not.
All right, fine. Oren.
So I'm kind of taking this but building it into its own separate interpretation. I think, or approach rather. So I'm just reading it as a witness of deceits will be destroyed or lost its matter, and a man listens and it will be spoken of forever. So I think what I want to say is that Eid Kazavim is like, the reason why it's Eid Kazavim and not Eid Sheker is because I'm thinking this is a person who like just says things to like sound cool or to like self-aggrandize or something like that. So they're just like telling stories about themselves or just like making incredible claims just that they become noteworthy or whatever, something like that. So what it is that person who does that, their name will be forgotten. Like nobody's going to remember that they were the one who came up with this claim, but people will remember the claim, and then that untrue thing will carry on in perpetuity. And so it's like, if you're a person who's thinking of doing that, realize that it's not going to work. Like you're not going to get the glory that you want. All you're going to do is just cause harm in the world because people will believe this horrible thing. And I actually have an example. If I may. I thought about this yesterday. There's a thing, I'll do this very briefly. There's a thing called the Walam Olam, which is not, it sounds Hebrew, it's not.
Okay, I was trying to
It's a book which was written in the 1800s by some American guy. And in it, he claims to have spoken to like some really old Native American, where he records like the long forgotten like legend of how like the Native American people were born. And it's like totally false. And like you can prove that it's false. You can prove that he made it up. But there are people who believe it to this day. Like Native Americans will say like, that is my history.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of cases like that. I haven't heard that particular one. That's interesting. Yeah, Sean?
Okay. So I remembered my other interpretation, and I have another point on trying to complete this.
Okay. And then your next time.
Which is also like the person who is, I think, similar in Oren's, like the person who is telling lies. So when it's eventually discovered, so he also is going to be like lost, meaning like people aren't going to trust him anymore. But like the damage is already done. Right. And then the second thing is, I still think we need to figure out why it's plural. Instead of
right. I just a comment on that translation wise, not even idea wise, like this isn't local to any idea, is that I think if you said, for example, Eid Sheker, then that could be one, and if Eid means witness, then that could be like you testified falsely once, but Eid Shekarim would be one who does this repeatedly. Like this is part of his like modus operandi, or like he's just he does it. He has an underlying, many lies are prompted by circumstances unless it's stemming from within, like he wants to be popular, so that could be a way to read the plural thing. Yeah, David.
Okay. So Yovid as destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay. So an aid is someone who is trusted with whatever he's going to be saying. So when that trusted person says things that he knows are false, once people find out that it's false, he's going to get destroyed, and that people are going to no longer trust him, even when he's saying the truth. Like, I'm saying the truth, but no, we don't trust you anymore.
Right.
So then those who hear him, are always going to tell everybody, like they're going to earmark this guy as don't listen to him. Like anytime he tries to speak up, people will always, whoever's heard him will tell others, don't listen to him.
So the daber is about the guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that will destroy the liar.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, so that's good. So it's spelling out the mechanism.
Yeah.
That an aid kazavim will be destroyed because those who hear that he lied, right? Yeah. Who heard him and know that he lied will speak about him forever, and that'll like cement his reputation as someone who's not trustworthy. All right, that's a good interpretation. Yeah. Okay, so we have 3 interpretations now. I lost track because of the forking, the splitting off into. Okay, we have. I know I said I would do this but I never did. Just taking like notes about the ideas here. So I just wanted people to point. Okay, so we have. Okay, so let's call this. Let's call this Sean and Isaac. The idea that so let me actually translate it. So I understand false testimony in a battle with truth will lose, right? But those who hear of it will speak about it forever, okay? Because the time it takes to because verification of a truth takes longer than spreading of disinformation. Yeah. Okay. So is that a good basic thing for that? Okay. So then we had your second idea is closer to the way David was interpreting it, right? What was your idea of it being destroyed, that people won't?
Meaning, like, I was just saying, also kind of within what I was saying here is that even when the person is found out that he's been lying and like spreading falsities, right? So he might be destroyed because his reputation is destroyed, but the damage is
okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. So let me do an indentation here, right? Or even though the false witness himself is destroyed because his reputation is ruined, the damage will last forever. Yeah. Okay. And that's like the case you were talking about, right? Where the guy was officially discredited, but it keeps going on forever. Yeah. Okay. But then you had an idea. Okay. So Oren's approach was Eid Kazavim is a person who like habitually tells lies for aggrandizement. What was
more or less.
Yeah, for some form.
Yeah, and that's why it's Kazavim, because it's like he's not saying it for the truth though. He's just saying it for like the rhetoric.
Right. Yeah. So
he doesn't believe it.
Yeah. So what were you saying? What was it?
Aggrandizement.
Yeah.
Did I spell it right?
Oh, it's not like to make yourself better, self-grandeur, to make yourself look better.
Grandeur, I thought.
That might be another.
A grandeur?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. A grandeur? Like that? A grandeur? I've only heard self-aggrandizement. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's fine. And then so he will be destroyed because.
Or just like he'll just be lost to history.
Oh yeah, because you're saying that people won't trace it to him. He's not going to get the glory he seeks. Will be lost in that he won't get the glory he seeks.
Maybe he will for a little bit, but it'll be
right. He won't get the lasting glory he seeks, right? But his lies will last forever, right?
And the harm of their lies.
His lies will last forever along with their harm. Okay, fine. And then David, say yours again. I just gotta.
Okay, yeah. That one I want to be particular that 8 is someone who's trusted. So
okay.
A trusted person who knowledgeably lies will be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because the ones who hear will always talk about him.
Always talk about him. Okay, good. Yeah, you could be.
I guess if it's most with Orans, for the plural. Plural, I think it's possible that it would only be perpetually like spoken about if he continually lies.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean repeating the lie again and again. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So let's
But then eventually he keeps doing it.
Yeah.
That's why it'll be destroyed because they realize he's a liar, but it's too late.
Right. So plural equals repeating the same lie over and over. Again, I know I keep on talking about the show. This is not those aren't, but
if he's always lying, then one of them will take hold. Versus if he just says one thing, people would discredit him.
Right. Yeah. Whereas
I guess repeating the same lie also.
Whereas saying one thing can be discredited. So again, the reason why I watched Ozark was because of Julia Garner in Inventing Anna, which is the real life story about the con artist girl who pretended she was a German heiress and tricked all of like New York upper echelon society and ended up like stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then like she tricked the fashion world and like the wealthy world and like the bankers and like defraud all these people. Why? She just doubled down and tripled down and quadrupled down on this lie that she was this German heiress who just couldn't access her money. And then just she gave everyone a story that they wanted to believe, like the investors wanted to invest because they wanted to get in on this like big thing. And like the people who were like, fashion conscious wanted to like associate themselves with this glorified person. She just kept on pushing it, but she's going to have the, no one's going to trust her again. She's trying to make a new career now. She got out of prison, but yeah. Okay. Very Mishlei movie.
This is a real person.
This is a real person. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a real person. And they made the show about her. She basically, and again, this was a Mishlei move. So she got thrown in prison and she sold the rights to her life story to Netflix and then used that money to pay off all of the things that she owed, but it's a good, so it's a true story. Obviously it's a little embellished in the actual Netflix thing, but it's like all the amounts, the dollar amounts and all the people are real and like the court proceedings and stuff like that. It's a crazy story. Yeah. Inventing Anna. It's a very bingeable show. I mean, it's one season. It's only gonna be one season because it's just her life story, unless she does it again. Yeah. Okay, let's do Metzudas David. Okay, and see. Why did that not go? Taking your time. All right. If I had to guess, I would guess Metzudas David is going to be closest to David, not because of the name, but I feel like it's the most like your idea is the most like direct Mishlaic like Metzudas David type idea. So let's see if that works out. All right. Let's see. Metzudas David would be on the next page. Okay. Yoved af im lo yuzam bebesin. Even if he is not proved to be a conspirer witness in Beis Din, v'lo kibel ha'onesh, and he didn't get punished. Mikol makom yoved b'dei shemayim. Nevertheless, he'll be destroyed by the hands of heaven. Natural consequences. V'ish shomea, and the man who hears, rotzalomar v'im ki yoved ha'ed hahu b'avur onesh kazavav, even though that witness will be destroyed by the punishment for his lies, hine devarav lo ne'avdu lihishtakeach min alev. His words will not be destroyed by being forgotten from the heart. Ki kol ish hashomea devaro yisaprem ad olam. Because anyone who hears his words will talk about them forever. B'chashvo ki emesu, thinking that is true. Okay, nice, yeah. And so that is so it's not exactly like that because it's not saying that he'll be destroyed because people will talk about him, but this is closer to, who's this close to? I mean, it's got elements. Yeah, Sean and Isaac, right? Although not emphasizing, hold on a second. Yeah, it's closest.
Not emphasizing the first half.
Yeah, not emphasizing the first half, but the second half. Yeah. So let's just think about this on its own terms here. So it is a weird, I mean, I don't want to call it a mixed message, but it's saying like, like, let's ask the question, who's the audience of this, or what's the practical outcome? Because, it's not talking to the false witness, I don't think, because all he needs to hear is that you're going to be destroyed, right? He doesn't really care that his words will be perpetuated forever, especially in a courtroom scenario, right? I don't think he's like unless he's like really vindictive, where he's trying to like just ruin someone's reputation by spreading, like people do that, right? Is they will sue somebody in order to get this lie out there, even though they know that they won't win the court case. They just want to tarnish someone's reputation. So maybe it's talking to that person, but then it would be I don't know. Yeah, but
maybe
let's just
maybe it's talking to the people who hear false testimony, like don't do this thing that would normally happen, like spreading lies into eternity. Like know that it's a lie and don't talk about it.
Yeah, I hear that. And you do see people talking about that now with we saw it like during the pandemic especially, but there are increased warnings about people sharing news stories that they haven't verified, and like and trying to like stop that impulse to just spread the story because it's because it appeals to them. I hear that. I think the thing that's making me reluctant to say that is the phenomenon is not really going to be dependent on the individual person. It might be. Obviously, no, what's the phrase? Like, no snowflake thinks that it caused the avalanche. Like, it's it's each and every individual person who's not verifying the story that causes the story to spread. So at the end of the day, it is up to you. Yeah, I don't know what's bothering me about it.
Can you restate it? The idea.
That Metzudas David is saying?
Yeah.
He's saying that, let's say you got a guy who lies in Beis Din, right? And he's not caught by Beis Din. Nevertheless, he will be destroyed by Shemayim, which means something along the lines of like, he'll be found out to be a liar, or like the lying will get him caught up. You guys didn't hear. I don't think anyone heard. Yeah, I don't think anyone heard these. Yosef Levine had a Mishlei moment. This is a good Mishlei moment. It's not exactly it's a form of lying. It's cheating. He said that in his class, then the kids found the answers to all of the tests online, right? So they started cheating, and they initially started by like cheating responsibly and of like not getting everything right, but like how did they finally get caught? And they finally got caught because everyone in the class got hundreds except for Yosef, who didn't cheat, and the teacher found out because they all got hundreds. And he said that right before, as the test was being handed out, being handed back, then one of the kids who cheated said, "Gentlemen, we've gone too far." They sensed that they couldn't, and the way Yosef said it is like they just couldn't help themselves in terms of like the scope of their lying, and so like somehow, that's classic Mishlei stuff, is that they're going to be destroyed somehow, that line is just brilliant. Then in the second half is saying, nevertheless, even though the guy's going to be destroyed, his words won't be forgotten, but they're going to continue on and on and on because people who listen to them are going to keep on talking about them. Yeah. All right. Let's stop for today. Think about it. And then tomorrow, see if we can refine Metzudas David and then see other meforshim. Okay. And Isaiah, if you're still sick, he just went. I'll text him. I was gonna say, if you're still sick, I know a good show you can watch. Yeah.